Maxo.
Wrist too cold, wrist too cold, wrist too cold, wrist too cold. Diamonds on me, water, H2O, H2O, H2O. Wrist too cold, wrist too cold, wrist too cold, wrist too cold. Diamonds on me, water, H2O. Diamonds on me, water. Okay, like,
Wow, this shit was crazy. Where do I even start? Back a few months before H2OI, the illegal, unsanctioned event is held mid-October in Ocean City, Maryland. Every year, the YouTubers Brian and Roman, over at Regular Car Reviews, held a fan car meetup in Orwigsburg PA. I saw him announce the event on Twitter, and I was like, PA? I'm in Maryland. Let's see how close it is. Turns out it was only 2 hours and some change away. So I got excited and called my brother. I told him, he went and got his car ready immediately, and I started waxing my old 1993 Plymouth Sundance. I know it ain't much, but it's my daily. Got a hold of it by chance, and frankly, I thought I would be the only one there. I don't see these little things on the road anymore. I really never drove the car on the highway much. I only drove around town and back roads to work. I was confident the car would make it, but this was my biggest venture in this car yet. I had a lot of trust in it, but it ran a little warm in some stop-and-go traffic on the way there. Thankfully, we got there about an hour into the event, got a great spot right in the middle of the parking lot, immediately prepped and wiped our cars down, started walking around, looking at all the amazing cars and sights. There was everything from 2 gigantic Ford van trucks from the late 80s to many Japanese cars, but most importantly, a bunch of regular cars. That's what his channel's mostly about. Putting a spotlight on regular cars. The cars that get cast into the shadows, no pun intended, that yet we use, abuse, and fail to maintain properly. Thankfully, a small few that have met through YouTube and social media have came together to appreciate these common, regular cars. After we got there and walked around for a while, there was one particular car that kept catching my eye. Over in the back corner, next to a badass-looking early 90s Chrysler Caravan, I spotted another Peabody, a purple Dodge Shadow. I was shocked. I wasn't the only one there. I swear, I walked past it 5 or 6 times looking for the owner. I just had to ask what was under the hood, you know, due to the large carb sticking out of the hood, knowing these are TBI from the factory. I also wanted to ask how they, just got into older Iacocca cars. Just as everything was starting to come to a closing point, I walked over past the Shadow one last time. Saw 2 or 3 people standing in front of it. Unbeknownst to me, it was Roman, one of the 2 YouTubers and main hosts of the meet, and Neil, the owner of the Shadow. I was amazed on how many people were just casually walking around, being extremely respectful, just letting these 2 practically famous YouTubers just walk around and be themselves, without getting swarmed and brigaded with cell phones. They could actually have one-on-one personal conversations with their fans. When I got over to the Shadow, I wound up striking an almost 10-minute conversation with Roman, and I found it amazing, downright awesome that I had the opportunity to stop and talk with him, or even just that they would take the time out of their day to talk with me and other fans for that long and that, in depth. After I thanked him for his time, and he walked off to spark chats with other fans, I started talking with Neil, and he discovered that I had a Peabody as well. Actually, he told me he saw my car before we met up. He was trying to find me. That day, we wound up becoming friends, adding each other on Facebook, and he put me into his friend group of other Peabody and K-car owners, the Iacocca gang. I found it fascinating there was such a large group for such a niche little car. On top of that, I'm fairly introverted and tend to stay to myself, so being part of a group like this now has been a really fun and interesting experience for me, to say the least. I chatted with Neil for a few more minutes and parted ways because Brian of RCR was getting ready to announce the Paper Plate Awards, a comedic little award ceremony they do to show off and celebrate some of the most memorable and most regular cars of the event.
Catchphrase from. I know I said we do not have awards, but we will have the Paper Plate Awards at around, I think, 5:30 or 6 o'clock. This show will be wrapping up at 7 p.m. Also in attendance, I see he just got here, Ted Stoltz, the graphic designer who designed the RCR logo and also is a big help with all our our photography and some editing. What did you bring? He is riding Suzuki SV650, and it's so wonderful that we had a few bikes here. Even my friend Joe, who I work out with here, rolls up and he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Park your bike with the rest of the bikes, you'll get admired." And he's like, "Okay," and he's probably inside working out right now. Actually, no, he left. So the next thing is inside there is not enough food for everybody that's free. I'm sorry, there's way more people here, but there are some wraps. Bathrooms are also inside. You will be able to follow the arrows to be able to find out where they are. There is also health food and drinks and snacks up there at the desk. Once, thank you so much for coming to the Regular Car Reviews Car Meet 2019. Thank you so much. We may have to, man, no one's coming up, and oh, my mom is leaving. Bye, Mom. There she goes in the little convertible Beetle. Actually, one of the last years for that thing. Anyway, thank you so much. Enjoy everything, and I'll be making the rounds to pick our winners for the Paper Plate Awards. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Our first award is time sensitive, and the award is called "You Came Here How Far?" The award goes to Brendan and Company, setting the record, who drove here this morning from Montreal.
Oh my God!
Please come and get your award from Mitch. Our second award is Best Rental Car. A car that celebrates everything about torque converters and low power and complete family values. The award goes to a 1996 Toyota Corolla wagon. The owner is Lou. Excuse me, sorry, Camry wagon. Thank you.
It's the Nickerman Opponent Award, and it goes to the 1984 AMC Eagle. I have no idea who owns it, but God bless you for bringing it here, because that's my favorite car. Yeah!
Our next award goes to a vehicle that I'm not sure is completely legal within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The award is called "It's Legal in Florida." It goes to Joe and his 1968 Plymouth Valiant. This next award almost deserves its own baseline. The award is called Best Wingadinga, a car that fulfills every criteria for California cheeseburgers and the best of the Eagles mix. The award goes to Jim Shulman and his, excuse me. Oh, no. Where is it? 1957 Dodge Custom Royal. I thought that this next award would definitely go to a motorcycle, but in fact it didn't. It is the Best Not a Car Award, something that is no way a everyday vehicle. It goes to Joe in his 2003 Ford E450 chassis short school bus. This next award, I forget, I was just talking to you earlier, and in fact you're local to the area, but I'm balking on your name, I sincerely apologize. The award is Best Peacocking, And it's the, sorry about your dick. It goes to the green square body Chevy flatbed with an LT swap. This next award, I was talking to the owner early. They showed up early for this event. And again, I'm sorry I'm balking on your name, but I'm looking over there, and it is the best subtext, I know a guy who does inspections. It goes to Devin in his mostly 1990 MX-5. I thought there would be a lot more brodozers coming here, but in fact there are not, so it's kind of difficult to select the best fan of Call of Duty Modern Warfare best pickup. And that goes to Ryan and his 1992 Jeep Comanche. And lastly, it is the version of our best in show, or the most regular. It goes to Austin and his 1993 Dodge Caravan with a 5-speed, the most regular Caravan. Thank you so much for coming to the art. We'll have quite a ways to go, but the roads here are pretty nice on Sundays. We will be completely vacating this place in about 50 minutes. So I'll be hanging out to take pictures. We'll be here. I don't know. There may be too many people to effectively do a group photo. We'd almost have to have like roof access to this place or something like that. So I guess it's probably not going to be...
School bus, stand on the school bus.
We have a guy with a drone here, so tell you what, you guys take relax for like 15 minutes, and we'll make another announcement, and we'll gather for a group photo, and then call it a night. How's that?
Then right before everyone left, we all gathered together and had a mass gigantic group photo via drone. It was my first time seeing a drone fly that close to me in person, so I thought that was pretty neat. At that point, everything was winding down, but not quite over. I wanted to find Mr. Regular before I left because I really wanted to thank him and let him know how much his and Roman's work has inspired me and entertained my brothers and I through the past few years. Thankfully, I saw him walking past, but a lot of other fans were trying to respectfully do what I was trying to do as well. He seemed a little overwhelmed, rightfully so I imagine. I just made the interaction quick and brief, thanked him for everything he's done and for helping to get my younger brother into cars. I snapped a quick picture with him and so did my brother. I shook his hand and overall it was a really great experience. At that point it was starting to get dark and I had to rush home to get to work that night, so I packed the car up, spoke with a few more people and headed out. Made the 2-ish hour drive home safe, and as I reflected on that day on my way to work that night, I just couldn't believe how great of a time I had and how many new friends I made just taking a drive on such a last-minute whim, completely unplanned and inspired from a tweet and a 2-second Google Maps search. All in all, the main point I wanted to make and get across with you guys is to get out, take chances, do things you don't usually do. Go and have fun, live life. It doesn't last forever, and we all need to have a little happiness, even if it's just talking with some buddies about what you use to get back and forth with to work. And quick before the video is over, I wanted to mention that I did lose a lot of my footage from this trip, and I had to go through Mr. Regular's channel and talk to some of my friends and get a bunch of pictures and video clips together. So here's a list of everyone that I've gotten footage and pictures from. Even though a lot of this content wasn't mine, I hope that I put it together well and you guys got a good idea of my story. Thank you all that watched this through to the end. For anyone that enjoyed this, I'm going to be having my full-length H2OI 2019 after movie coming up in a week or two. I'm going to be showing myself meeting Neil and his friends the Iacocca gang for the first time, and my first experience down in Ocean City for H2OI. It was crazy. I saw tons of amazing, interesting, semi-illegal things down there, so expect a great video coming up soon. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at SloppyCornDog, subscribe, like the video. Last but not least, thanks again for watching. Have a great day.